So we're going to do the TS Plus application today on a logo for a person. Okay, so as usual, let me pull up my banners real quick. But just to recap real quick, if you go to test.uspto.gov. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, so if we go to test.uspto.gov, we can do a search. And again, we did this last time, but we did a search on lace up. And as you can see, we found one lace up, but it was not for clothing. It was for footstools, and we decided, you know what, let's go for it. Let's see if we can get it for clothing. Hopefully that's different enough that we wouldn't have an issue. Okay, so once you are done and you feel confident that you have a good shot of actually getting your trademark allowed, that there wouldn't be other confusingly similar marks on the principal register, then the next step is to actually go to tsdr.uspto.gov. Okay, and this is where you're actually going to register your trademark. So tsdr.uspto.gov. Once you're here, all you do is click File Online. Now, I kind of cheated. I logged in beforehand, but all you need to do is create a USPTO.gov account. They use two-factor authentication, so you can get the authentication code either sent to your email or kind of delivered to you over a phone, which is kind of interesting. I prefer email. It's just quicker and easier. All right, so once you're here, you start the initial application by clicking on Initial Application Form. So it'll take you to another screen where you can start your application in TIAS, right? So this is the button that you want to click on. And now once you're here, again, I'm already logged in, but it would have prompted you to log in at that point in time. Okay, so we're going to do the TS Plus application, and we're going to do it as if it was me doing it, so me as an individual. Okay, so we're going to click Continue. Now here, again, they have this format where you put your last name first, separated by a comma, and then your first name, and then your middle initial. Again, I've said this before in the past, but you have the option to use a DBA. I recommend to only use this if you really do have a registered DBA. Don't just click this button for the heck of it. Now, as an individual, you're going to have to enter your citizenship. So we're going to enter our citizenship here. And then again, a corporation or limited liability companies. You have all these options. We're going to do an LLC tomorrow or later this week, actually. But if you did select a corporation or entity, you would have had to enter in the state that your entity was formed in, so the state of incorporation. All right, so once we do that, we have to put in our mailing address. I like to use my Impact Hub address because it's a little less public. I don't give my private address, but again, if you have a PO box, you could use a PO box, and if you do that, you can uncheck this box here and enter your actual domicile. Your actual address in here would not become public record, so that's something to think about if you're kind of a public figure or have a public persona that you want to keep this information confidential. Now, phone number is optional. I rarely submit phone numbers. You're going to get a prompt later warning you, hey, you didn't enter your phone number, but I think it's okay. I think it's better to keep your phone number off public listings as much as possible. Same with fax. Unfortunately, you now have to enter in your email. So I'm going to enter in, my work email. And if you have a website address, you could enter it in here. Now, when I hit continue, it's going to give me that prompt about the telephone being, hey, you didn't enter a phone number. What if somebody needs to contact you? Again, correspondence occurs over email anyways, so really not a big deal. I'm okay not having my phone number as public record. Now, here's the cool part. Here's the bit where we get to actually upload Victoria's cool logo that she designed for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Special Form. The one key thing, I should have created a banner beforehand, but I just want to tell everyone real quick that two important things about your logo design. So one is there's pixel requirements. So it's 250 by 944 pixels. These are the dimensions, the maximum dimensions for your logo design. So you can't have, so when you design your logo, you can't have it larger than 944 pixels in width or length, and it can't be smaller than 250 pixels in any dimension. So just keep that in mind. So once this logo was designed, I expanded it out so that it was larger, so that it was up to 944 pixels, so we won't get an error. If you go over 944 or under 250, you're going to get an error. Now, the second thing that's really important that I want to make sure I communicate, The word mark that we did before, okay, the word mark it gives you the strongest protection, because anyone that takes that word and designs it in a different way would still technically be infringing your trademark, assuming you were able to obtain protection on just the word. So word marks give you the broadest protection. Now, design marks, they're still really powerful, especially if your brand has a lot of a sway in the market, right? If you have a very powerful image like the swoosh logo or some iconic brand, that can be very powerful. Now, the one thing though that I do want to caution you against is I highly discourage you from claiming color as a feature of the mark. So that being said, convert your images to grayscale. I think it's really important to do so. Don't claim color as a feature of the mark unless color really is truly part of your brand and you want to protect that. You can. It is actually possible to trademark color. I believe the T-Mobile pink was a great example. So just keep that in mind. It is possible to trademark color, and it's something to keep in mind in the future whenever you're doing your own trademark applications. Now, with the design, it's going to prompt you. It's going to say, hey, do you want to claim color as a feature of the mark? And I always check no. Now, remember, in order to do this correctly, then is you have to submit a grayscale or black and white design. So two things. So again, generally, it's always going to be a black and white or grayscale design that you upload, and two, make sure that it's within the size constraint. So you want it to be between 250 and 944 pixels. Okay, great. So let's continue with the application. So here we're going to click Special Form, and this is where we're going to actually be able to upload our design. Choose our file, attach. There we go. Okay, moving forward now. Okay, so you see here, really boring. It was blue. So black and white. Now, here, literal element. This is where you put up the literal element of your mark. So we're going to call it lace. I didn't have time to write in lace up, but you get the idea. Here, you put the actual literal letters that are in the mark. Now here, remember I talked about color? If you're claiming color as a feature of the mark, you would describe the color. We are not claiming color as a feature of the mark. So we're going to check this box right here. It says very clearly, check this box if you are not claiming color as a feature of the mark. Again, I encourage you to not claim color as a feature, upload a black and white image, and then, again, make sure it's a JPEG, not a PNG, and make sure that it's within the size constraint. So it's got to be between 250 and 944 pixels. So here you actually have to describe what the mark is. So here I'm just going to say stylized lettering of the word LACE. Really simple. You don't add the period. The system will automatically add the period for you. All right. Next, we hit continue. And then we get to the cool part where we get to pick what clothing we will be selling. So we're going to click add goods and services. Remember, we're doing the TS Plus application, which is $50 cheaper. And so this is actually going to require us to select the can choices. So here we're going to search for, okay, bathrobes. Boom. So we're going to do bathrobes and hooded bathrobes. And we're going to select section 1B. We've been doing 1B applications, which cover, okay, not yet selling this mark, not using the mark to sell goods yet, but I will be, and I plan to, but I want to secure the mark first. I want to secure my lace logo design before I actually invest in the branding, updating the website, the Instagram, the Twitter, all the various social platforms, creating banners, and possibly even creating paper media, whatever it is that I'm doing to advertise. I want to make sure I get the brand first before I proceed with investing in it. So this is a section 1B application. You get to check this box. This just says, hey, yeah, I have a bona fide intention. I'm really intending to use this mark in commerce. So you're going to check this box here and then click assign filing basis. Again, bathrobes, hooded bathrobes. These are the choices that we got from the selections provided by the system with the TS Plus application. If you want to spend $50 more, which I recommend and always do, then you can actually submit a description that you come up with. So you could come up with all the wording. You're not limited to the options that are presented by the TS system. So once we hit continue, so we just double checking, we have section 1B, bathrobes, hooded bathrobes. Again, they're under class 25. The big gotcha here, make sure that you're aware. Each class is a separate filing fee. So these are both under class 25, so it's only one filing fee. But if you had added something in a different class, okay, then that would increase the fee by another 225. So just keep that in mind. So here, all class 25, so we're good. So we're gonna hit continue and we're almost done. Here, you're gonna enter in your docket number. And let's just do TO3. And then email addresses, you can as many as 4. Here I recommend you putting anyone, like if you have other email addresses that you check regularly, or if you have an assistant or someone that works with you on your team, right? There might be an internal person that helps you add their email here. It's nice just to have another warning so someone else gets the reminder in case you missed it. So once we hit continue, we're almost done. Now we're going to put our input, our contact information. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to be signing. The system already has our contact information because we filed as an individual. So we're going to sign directly into the application form. And to do this, you have to check 4 boxes. So the first box is just saying, hey, yes, I do have a bona fide intention to use this mark in commerce. This is what's called a Section 1B application, 1051B. In the next few episodes, probably starting next week, we're going to cover 1051A applications, which are actual use trademarks. So you're going to check this box. You have 3 more boxes to check. This one is just saying that, to your knowledge, you have a belief that you have a right to use this mark in commerce. So there isn't someone else that's already using this lace design that we came up with. And to the best of our knowledge, that there's factual support for what we've said in the application. And then the 4th checkbox is just saying, yeah, you're signing under penalty of perjury. You're telling the truth. You understand that if you lie, you could be subject to fines or imprisonment. So here, to sign the application, all you have to do is put your name within slashes, and then check the date sign box. It automatically pops the date for you. Here you put your name. Again, it's this weird format where it's your last name, comma, first name, and then initial. And then the position, we're just the owner because I'm filing it me individually. So you can put owner. You can also put holder. Some people like, it's actually down here, owner/holder. I just like to put owner. And your phone number. Now, this is the one place where you do have to put your phone number. But once you click validate, your application is validated and we're almost done. So now it's basically just getting to payment. So before we get to the payment page though, I encourage you to actually review the application. Make sure it's all complete, correct. You can click the JPEG button. Oh, you guys can't see that, but it actually pops up the design once more. Again, you can see special forms mark yes. This is also known as a design mark. So this is how you know this is a design mark. If it was not a design mark, you would just say no, and there would just be a word. The literal element, again, we input this, but this is any letters, words that are up here in the design. It's like if it was a stylized design of your initials, you just put your initials, whatever your mark is. You got to make sure you actually put the literal elements. Color, again, really important. We're not claiming color as a feature of the mark. I encourage you not to, unless color really, really is something that you believe is truly unique and identifies you. Now, again, this is a description that we came up with. It just consists of stylized letters. Oop, misspelling. Okay, so if you were doing this for real, you can go back into the application and actually update it and correct this. Now, again, this is the dimensions. Make sure it's between 250 and 944. This is our address. We're filing as an individual, class 25, bathrobes and hooded bathrobes. And we're filing under section 1B, which means we're intending to do this. We haven't yet started. And again, docket number, our name, correspondence information. So these are where we put in the other emails that we want to be associated with the application so that those email addresses will also get updates. And again, this is a TS Plus. It's 225. We're filing only under one class, which is for clothing. And yeah, so this application looks good to go. We're going to hit back. Again, if you press the mark button, you're going to see a JPEG version of the mark one more time before you file. So this is what's actually going to get submitted to the trademark office. And again, I've said this in prior episodes, but if you need to go back to modify any part of the application, it's really easy to. You just click back, and it's nice because it saves all your information. So when you go forward, you don't have to worry about redoing it every time. So just as an example, I introduced a typo in this application, so really, really easy to fix. All you do, so stylized, you go back to where it is, and then you update the language. So stylized lettering of the word lace, and again, we just hit continue, and you'll see that it's a session stored, so it's going to save all of our information. So we just click next, continue, and we're going to be able to go right back to where we were at the submission. So again, we're going to press validate, and we're here. And again, just so you can see, it actually did update the language right there. So there's the correction of the typo. And when we hit back, we're now going to be able to submit. And you check the box. This is just saying, hey, if you messed up the design, not our problem. You're going to have to resubmit a whole new application and pay the filing fee all over again. So just keep that in mind. This is just the final, hey, no refunds. So once you check that box and hit pay submit, we're done. So now it's going to prompt us to enter our credit card information. And once we enter our credit card information and hit submit, application is going to be gone and will be eventually examined by the trademark office. So again, credit card, you put your credit card information here, you hit submit. Now, once you hit the submit button, to be clear, you're going to get an email from the trademark office, and that's going to have your serial number. That serial number is going to be tied to your application all the way through. Even after issuance, you'll still be able to find your application by your serial number. That's how you do a trademark application. TS Plus application, the cheaper 225 version, for as an individual on your design or logo.